He came, it was like, Shug's outside! Shug's outside! Everybody like, it was running, dropping shit. Like, man, everybody going, I'm in front of the camera like this. Everybody just running. It was just gone.
Like, we had to move like the military, you know what I'm saying? Bulletproof vests, bulletproof cars.
You know, ever since he entered the music business, Shug Knight has been a threat to civilization. No matter who you were or what you did, back then, everyone understood that his name represented trouble. Similar to the book, Suge Knight's attempt to scare 50 Cent completely failed. Years have passed, but 50 hasn't forgotten and still feels that Suge Knight shouldn't cross his path again because things could go ugly. As you can see, 50 Cent and Suge Knight had multiple encounters. They had multiple encounters, but what made them so fascinating is that they were very different from the encounters Suge typically had. You don't want to have a falling out with either of these guys, so let's talk further about what exactly drove these two to attack each other so fiercely. Thus, Suge Knight is among the most well-known figures associated with US West Coast rap music. He was the manager of several hip-hop stars, including Snoop Dogg, Tupac Shakur, and Dr. Dre. Furthermore, Suge Knight was one of the first record firms to promote gangster rap music as CEO and co-founder of Death Row Records, Snoop Dogg's Doggy Style, Tupac's All Eyes on Me, and Dr. Dre's The Chronic are a few of the label's best-selling albums. Suge didn't receive the same level of exposure as he does now due of his record company, despite the fact that his name was associated with many of the big boy rap records that helped to shape the genre as it exists now. In fact, some contend that his reputation was largely earned and maintained due to his contentious nature. Put differently, most people recognized him as a cold-blooded guy who would resort to violence if he was having trouble. His volatile temper and enormous ego, which no man could ever control, caused his reputation to be constantly dragged across media sources. He has been linked to multiple murders and has spent a lot of time in and out of jail. Suge is a dangerous person to have on your back because he has been accused of several different charges, including robbery, manslaughter, and domestic violence. Most people associate Suge with the passing of Biggie and Tupac, two of the most well-known rappers in history. Suge was operating the vehicle in which Tupac was shot, and many people also think he was responsible for Biggie's demise. It would be an understatement to say that the rap community didn't like him. To be honest, a lot of folks felt nothing but hatred for this man. He was nothing more than a violent bully with a big ego who needed to use violence to get what he wanted. To get others to see his way and accept whatever he had planned, he had intimidated a number of them. Because he wasn't receiving his share of Vanilla Ice's earnings, he allegedly had his minions damage Vanilla Ice's hotel room and even threatened to toss him off a balcony. Then, Shug threatened Eazy-E, threatening to expose his family members if he didn't approve the release of Dr. Dre and DOC from Ruthless Records. These are only a few of the questionable things he has done in the past. Just glance at some of these remarks made about him. This guy has been a monster for all time. He has enjoyed the mayhem that has surrounded him his entire life. Some people are simply evil in every way. No need to look for depressing tales or justifications. This man doesn't hear those who take pleasure in doing harm. Suge's ego and greed killed the company. There was far more than enough money to go around, so it's a tragic legacy. And in case you're wondering, Suge is currently incarcerated, which comes as no surprise to anyone. Terry Carter was killed when he was ran over by him, and he received a 28-year prison sentence. In addition, he was accused of attempting to kill Clee Sloan, commonly known as Bone, who suffered severe injuries after Suge ran him and Terry Carter over with his truck. There was one guy Suge would never scare, no matter how many people he broke and threatened to. Someone who, under any circumstances, would not buckle under pressure. 50 Cent was that man. As you can see, 50 was never a guy to play with. Everyone is aware that he dodged death multiple times. He once sustained 9 blows to his body, affecting his face, chest, hands, arms, and legs. You don't just go back to normal after that, as he once admitted. Such trauma alters you. The scars mend, but the pain never goes away. That's exactly why 50 played it cool and didn't even flinch when Suge Knight dropped by the club with a video camera. Yes, Suge Knight did really visit 50 Cent once. One of his most well-known songs was played throughout the video, and he did not receive the response he had anticipated. This is what actually transpired on that day. According to Bizarre, a member of D12, the narrative was relayed by him. When Suge stopped by and the entire meeting happened, he was present. He claims that no one actually needed to move any differently on the streets prior to 50 signing with Shady Record. However, things were never the same when 50 joined the Shady roster. They needed to arm themselves and maintain constant readiness. For the group, safety took precedence over all other concerns. Now that these folks became celebrities, Suge Knight was one of many issues that came along with the fame. In a brief interview, Bizarre shared his thoughts regarding his and his gang's lives since 50 was signed. Things changed drastically after he came.
But shit definitely changed, you know what I'm saying? Like how we was moving, you know what I'm saying? Like we was in some shit. Like we had to move like the military, you know what I'm saying? Bulletproof vests, bulletproof cars, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, we didn't really have to worry about that before him.
The moment Shug pulled up with 30 Mexicans and everyone immediately started running is a prime example of these perilous times.
We were shooting in the club video. Shit, somebody said, Shug Knight here. And 50 I was at the bar, Gang was there. He was shooting in the club scene and he stopped and Shug came in with 30 Mexicans, like you said.
There you go.
Which is weird, you know what I'm saying?
He always wrong with the Mexicans.
You know what I'm saying? And I just remember smurfing 50. 50 was like, what's up, man? What you want to do?
When I saw smurfing 50 to 50, what are you hoping to accomplish? 50's lack of fear of men was evident as day. Not even Suge Knight, the big terrible guy. Suge simply lifted his hand and motioned for everyone to exit the area when 50 questioned him about why he had come. Pity is able to recall the event. He was asked about that incident during one of his MTV interviews, and the G-Unit gang members in attendance as well as he discussed it that day. Everyone thereafter agreed that 50's chilly demeanor was a given. Just goes to prove that there will always be someone bigger and badder than you, and Suge deserved what came to him.
Because he showed up in the club video shoot. He came, it was like, Shug's outside! Shug's outside! Everybody like, pshh. He was running, dropping shit, pshh. Like, man, everybody going, I'm in front of the camera like this. Everybody like, whoa! Running. It was just gone.
The last truly authentic guy was 50. For a minute, he and the team definitely held NY down. But he can't pretend. And Suge's strategy was all about intimidation. He most likely stopped by to inform 50 that he was seeing it. Suge wasn't sure at the moment if Dre was trying to kill 50 because of his sin. Even though 50 never attempted to kill Suge, there was a near shootdown between the two that took place subsequently. This one time, Russell Simmons, co-founder of the illustrious record company Def Jam, spoke about it. He was complimenting 50 on his ridiculous bravery and his ability to maintain his sense of humor in the face of peril. He even went so far as to refer to 50 as enlightened since, ever since his near-death encounter, 50 had never been afraid. C. Simmons described how Suge Knight approached 50 along with several other men who were all holding burners. Not only did 50 handle the situation with complete composure, but he also walked to his car and grabbed an Uzi to defend himself in case something similar came up. Following Suge and his henchman's departure, 50 cheerfully informed everyone that they wouldn't be returning for some time. He was correct, too. Suge and 50 supposedly never experienced anything like that again. Suge was aware of 50's uniqueness. Tony Yago, a long-standing friend and collaborator in music, also discussed it. Just before the 2004 Vibe Awards, 50 instructed his co-manager James Cruz to go to the store and get a knife for each member of the G-Unit in case something went wrong. That night was very tense, with many artists sitting too close to one another due to unresolved rivalry. Not to mention that despite not being invited, Suge Knight stopped by. And things really did go wrong at the 2004 Vibe Awards. Just moments before Dr. Dre accepted his trophy, there was a stabbing following a blow to the head. The G-Unit squad member Young Buck stabbed the man who punched Dre, and he was even charged for it. But since there wasn't enough evidence to imprison him, he was spared from prison. Either way, Suge Knight knows better than to cross 50 Cent's path ever again, because 50 Cent is built differently. However, what are your opinions of 50 Cent and the event that occurred involving Suge? Tell us everything in the space provided for comments below.